The American Moustache Institute is moving to Pittsburgh. Never heard of it? Neither had we. But when we learned that they were having a news conference at City Council this morning, we were intrigued.
We really were. Channel 11's Joe Holden found out what it means for our city.
We received word of an 11 o'clock news conference here at City Hall from the American Moustache Institute. Their passion is facial hair and the dynamic mustached American lifestyle.
It's really a badge of honor.
They're here to promote mustache lifestyles.
It's a nod to the past.
And they claim to fight mustache discrimination.
There are big things in the works. What does this mean for Pittsburgh? What does this mean for the mustache lifestyle?
They're moving from St. Louis to Pittsburgh. The goal: dismiss negative stereotypes about facial hair.
Along with the global headquarters, the think tank will be here as well.
Councilwoman Teresa Cale-Smith recognizes the group's charitable contributions.
I think that there's a lot of good, positive about it, but the lightheartedness aside, there's a lot of serious to benefit from it as well.
But when we went to talk to Pittsburghers...
Is he serious, man? What does that mean?
Mustache.
Institute of America. How do you feel about that?
I never heard of it.
I don't like that.
You're not a fan?
No, not at my age, no.
In addition to sporting that facial hair and those mustaches, Pittsburgh will also now be holding what's known as the Stash Bash in October. Joe Holden, Channel 11 News.
It is estimated that up to $1.3 trillion in economic windfall will come to Pittsburgh in the next year. 6 months to a year. Whether that's below 1.3 trillion or more, we don't know yet. But the number we're going to quote is 1.3 trillion. Teresa Smith has been a huge supporter of not only my sexually dynamic mustached American lifestyle, but everyone's. She's been there from the beginning. She supported us. She's fantastic. My younger brother, Sean Patrick Cosgrove, is currently in the middle of his residency. He is going to be a doctor of nuclear mustachology. He's working on pediatric mustachology this summer. He's done some groundbreaking work. We're hoping to see our first 5 to 7-year-olds with a lower nose forestry unit by the end of this year. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. There are big things in the works. What does this mean for Pittsburgh? What does this mean for the mustache lifestyle? We're not entirely sure. That the course has been set. There have been many hands-free, high sock discussions late into the evening at Moustache Forward, the think tank for all things mustache related, mustache lifestyle, mustache wardrobe, etc., etc. Moustache Forward is also going to be relocating to Pittsburgh. So along with the global headquarters, the think tank will be here as well. So we appreciate everybody coming out. Climb to the highest Mount Washington, yell the news. The American Moustache Institute is in the Pittsburgh area now. Thank you. Teresa Smith, do you have any closing words?
Just the closing words is I intend to be the first woman to take the crown from Adam Cosgrove. Thanks to my genetics.
Does anyone have any questions? One thing we should add is that as a result of AMI moving here, our annual charitable event, which is called Stash Bash, will be coming to Pittsburgh October 26th. You can find details on the American Moustache Institute website about that. But again, it's expected to have a significant economic impact on the entire greater Pittsburgh metro area. I have run the organization since 1989. I've been looking for a successor to take over the organization. Last year, I was fortunate enough to meet Adam and realized that he was, in fact, the right person to run the American Moustache Institute and be that new injection of leadership that I believe the organization needs. He lives here, so it only made sense to bring the organization in turn to Pittsburgh. And I also think that this city has a culturally rich heritage of the sexually dynamic mustached American lifestyle, what with its deep union roots and steel workers, as well as some of the greatest iconic figures of Pittsburgh history. Specifically, if we look back to some of the great Steelers and Pirates teams of the 1970s, they were littered with mustached Americans. So I think this city has always embraced our lifestyle, which is why in 2011 we did a research paper, America's Most Mustache-Friendly Cities, and Pittsburgh actually was 4th in the U.S. third in the U.S. So, you know, it really, I think there was a lot of critical factors, but it was more or less kind of a perfect storm of things came together to let us know that Pittsburgh was the right place to move our headquarters. Sure, and I wouldn't expect you to understand because you are, of course, a barefaced mortal. So it's hard. It's very, you know, it's challenging for the barefaced mortal to understand the mustached American lifestyle, the things we need, the accoutrements we need to better our way of life. But you know, we have faced discrimination at every turn since really World War II. Because you think historically, in the early 19th century, America was a heavily mustached culture. But then, you know, going into World War II, in that it was not a war of aggression, but we were defending ourselves, the soldiers coming out of World War II were immensely popular. And their image was that of very clean-shaven, clean-cut Americans. And from that point on, there was a drastic change in the acceptance of people of mustached American descent in this country. And we've been fighting discrimination ever since, with the exception of the years of the 1970s, which again was another perfect storm that created a really culture of understanding for our way of life. So a few things. If you know anything about the American Mustache Institute, one of the tools that we use to further our agenda is humor, because we feel that, quite frankly, our message is better received if we use humor, and I think you've seen glimpses of this with popular films over the last decade. You know, Anchorman is one of the most popular film in the last decade, and it's largely because you've got this character with a mustache, and they're to a degree, you know, they make this guy look buffoonish. And so we've really embraced using humor as a medium to deliver our message. The message is very serious, but humor allows for it to be more accepted. And Adam, the first thing that struck me about Adam was what a good person he was, a great leader, but also his ability to kind of grasp the level of humor that we use as an organization to further our mission. And I would say probably one other thing is that everything the American Mustache Institute does has a charitable tie to it. If you're familiar, last year we actually lobbied Congress for a tax break for mustached Americans. And for everyone that participated or supported the campaign, we actually were able to get H&R Block to make a charitable contribution to something called Millions from One. Adam has basically a lifetime of work in the nonprofit space. So again, it was just there was this perfect storm of pieces that led me to believe that not only was Adam the right person to lead the American Mustache Institute and our next evolution of whatever the organization becomes, but also that Pittsburgh was the right place for our headquarters to be.
It will be in the West End area. District 2 has welcomed us with open arms, one of the most mustache-friendly neighborhoods, not only in the Pittsburgh, Allegheny County area, but in the country. And we thank Teresa Smith for all she's done for us.
Have the ascot on and everything today? Very nice.
Thank you.
What is it about mustaches that just makes you get excited?
Well, as Dr. Perlett said, this is something I couldn't expect you to understand.
But try me.
When, you know, it's really a badge of honor. It's a nod to the past, to the grizzled men who came before us, that built buildings of steel, built bridges all around us. You know, we wouldn't be where we are today without the mustached American lifestyle. So to wear this, yes, I feel empowered. The Institute is working diligently daily, hourly, minutely, to bring that feeling back to mainstream America. As Aaron said earlier, we've been oppressed for decades now, since the clean-shaven lifestyle, if you want to call it that, has really taken over. We're here to give the mustached men and women of America that power back. Embrace the mustache, embrace the power that comes with it.
Now, I'd go for it. I'm just not sure I could pull it off.
Well, you could. You just have to do it. And it's the easiest thing in the world. That's it. When you grow it, I mean, really, you're not growing just a mustache. You're growing a lifestyle. You're growing confidence right in the middle of your face. And you're just telling the world, here I am, I'm a man and I'm beautiful.